Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. I am Ahmed Mumtaz Mustahsan, your teacher for CSC 141 Introduction to Computer Programming. Students, today I will explain you how can you set up your personal computing environment at home on your personal computer. As I promised in my last lecture that I will explain you how can you set up Visual C environment. So today I will explain you how can you set up Visual C environment on your personal computer. If you listen to my instructions very carefully, you will not only learn to set up Visual C, but you can also set up Visual Studio, or even you can install any Microsoft platform or tool on your computer with the help of the same sequence that I will explain to you in few minutes. So, my topic is how to download and install Microsoft Visual Studio 2010. You need a Microsoft user account at Microsoft e-learning management system portal. For that purpose, either you can purchase the Visual Studio from Microsoft portal, or we have already arranged Microsoft tools for the students, and we would like to facilitate our students so that student can pick up any required Microsoft tool that we have provided, download it and install it on your computer. But we have to follow certain ethics. Under no circumstances you are allowed to share your username and password with anyone. Even you cannot share it with your friends or even your sisters and brothers. Okay? So, how can you get your username and password for the ELMS portal of Microsoft? You must be having your email address. If not, then please create your email address at your convenient ISP or portal and send us your request for this account at onewindow@comsets.edu.pk. When we will receive your request, we will create your account on this portal, and from the portal you will receive your username and password. So, dear students, when you send us your request for this account, please provide your name in the email, your father name and your registration number under which you are registered in this course. The account will be created and you will receive an email directly from the portal along with a URL, an address that will take you to that particular portal. So, we'll take you to Microsoft ELMS portal to download any product of Microsoft MSDNA, Microsoft Development Academic Alliance, through ComSet Institute of Information Technologies Software Center. So, when you will receive your username and password, you will receive this URL. When you click to this URL, it will take you to our Comstage Institute of Information Technology Software Center. This is our portal. Sign in to this portal. Okay. Once you click this sign in, then it will ask you your username and your password. Please do not share, I repeat again, do not share this username and password with anybody else. This is a confidential username and password for yourself. Higher Education Commission of Pakistan has provided this wonderful facility to the students of all the universities of Pakistan, and we would like to use and extend this facility to all the students, and we need your help. Okay, so you will enter your username, password, click sign in. So you will again be on the same portal, but this time you will see a difference. What is that difference? Instead of signing in, this time it will be showing you the welcome, your name. Now, here you have got two options. Either you can use DreamSpark Premium button for purchasing of this software. Don't worry, you don't have to pay. Purchase means that you have to download it, because we have already paid to the Microsoft on your behalf. Or you can use this Start Shopping button. Click Start Shopping button or DreamSpark Premium button up here. It will take you to the next window. Here you have got number of softwares, operating systems, and tools that you might require. As I said in the beginning, if you follow these instructions very carefully, you can not only install Visual Studio, but you can also install any software that you require, and that has already been provided to you under this program. So you can see this red box, I have marked it for you. This is your desired tool, desired environment that you will be needing for this particular course. So you will click this, and now in the next screen you have got number of options. You have a choice of picking up the same tool, either its Premier version, Ultimate version, Professional version. So I have installed for you on my computer is Microsoft Visual Studio 2010 Ultimate. Select this by clicking the desired option. You will receive the option here. You can find here free. Usually it's not free. When you directly visit to this particular portal, you will find a price tag here in US dollars. This free is just for you because someone has paid on your behalf. We have paid it on your behalf, or Higher Education Commission of Pakistan has paid it on your behalf. Here you can select the desired version, Visual Studio Premium 32-bit, or whichever tool you want. You can select by clicking Add chart. When you select add chart, it's mean that you have selected the desired tool or desired software. The quantity is represented here. Here I will recommend you, don't try to pick up too many tools in one go. Since you have got your username and license with you, you can download the desired softwares one by one as per your own convenience. If you try to pick up or download number of products simultaneously, then you will be confused and you will not know what to do with which part of the downloaded file. Okay? So here you can check out. Once you check out, it will provide you a complete license agreement. It's better you read it out once because it will remain the same for rest of the products in future. But at least we should know what are the terms and conditions so that we are educated, we understand, and we respect the rules and regulation under which the software has been provided to us. So you have to accept it or decline it. So obviously we have to accept it because we need it. So click accept here. Now here the username and password that we have already provided will be depicted here. Your last name, your first name, and your email address. If not, you can fill in these fields. But since you will be visiting to this particular portal through COMSET Institute of Information Technologies Software Center, it's mean that this information will already be there. So here if you can see, you have picked up a one quantity. The price is $0 because they are not going to charge you for downloading this particular software. So after providing this information, then you can click proceed with the order. When you click proceed with the order, it will give you the receipt, will take you to this particular screen. Now here you have to be very careful. This black box will contain a key that will be a confidential key. That will be a key which will be required by the Visual Studio to install the Video Studio on your computer. You can copy and save it onto any notepad. So you can use highlight it, copy it by Ctrl+C, and then paste it into notepad by using Ctrl+V. Sorry. Your product key will be saved and you are required to keep it secret and confidential with you. After completing this step, you can proceed to step number 2, start download. When you click start download, you will find this screen which says that get your software in 4 easy steps. These are the 4 steps which you will require to download and install your Visual Studio. First, step number 1, download the Secure Download Manager SDM installation file. This Secure Download Manager, you need it because in our environment we have got a lot of breakage in power due to some load shedding and due to number of reasons. So with the help of this Secure Download Manager, will save a lot of your time, because downloading Visual Studio will take quite a long time. If it is not possible for you to download this Video Studio directly from this particular point, then you can email us on our course portal. We will send you the CD containing the complete downloaded material. But remember to keep the key that you have downloaded by following this procedure. Because when we send you the CD, you will be installing your Video Studio using the DVD or CD. We will send it to you by post. But at the time of the installation, you will be required to enter that particular key. Okay? So don't worry. If you cannot directly download, you can contact this particular course portal and request for the downloaded Visual Studio for you. Once you click this download secure downloaded manager SDM, click here. After completing the download, you will find this type of window available to you. You should know that at which location this file has been downloaded. The name of the file will be SDM_EN, which you require to install Secure Downloaded Manager. Here you will press the Run button. After pressing the Run button, your SDM will be installed successfully. After installing this SDM, you click this SDM, that will take you again back to this particular screen. Now you will be required this downloaded .sdx file for your order. This .sdx file you require to download Visual Studio. By clicking this .sdx file here, it will automate the rest of the downloading mechanism and procedure. So you can click this step, and after that SDM will automatically take over all downloaded procedure and mechanism. This is important. Why it is important? As I said in the beginning, in our environment, we cannot ensure a continuous availability of power for quite a few hours, let's say 3 to 4 hours. So with the help of this secure download manager, it will resolve this problem, and every time there is an interruption, whenever you have a power available, power is back, you again run this SDM. It will start from the point from where there was a break. ये बार बार शुरू से स्टार्ट नहीं करेगा, जिस पॉइंट के ऊपर इंटरप्शन हुई थी उसी पॉइंट से ऑनवर्ड आपको डाउनलोडिंग फैसिलिटी प्रोवाइड करेगा. Once you start this SDM, then you will receive this window, and this time the control is with Secure Download Manager. SDM के पास कंट्रोल है इस पर्टिकुलर स्क्रीन पे आपके लिए. Click Start Download. Now the SDM will download it for you. This downloaded process will take about 4 to 5 hours depending upon your internet connection. I have done that at my home and it has taken 4 hours 37 minutes, okay, with my DSL connection. So don't worry, you can repeat this process couple of times until this downloaded process is completed. How to install image file processing tool? You require this image file processing tool in order to install the Visual Studio, because you require Power ISO. Basically, it emulates a CD drive for you on your machine, because you are not using the CDs or you are not using the DVDs, you are using SDM downloaded manager that has downloaded the data. So I recommend you to install image file processing, IFP. For that purpose, I demonstrate you and explain you that how can you install and set up IFP on your computer. You can use Power ISO. Trial version is available on the website. I'm taking you to their website. The address is www.poweriso.com. Here you can find this product and its trial version is available. You can download this trial version by clicking download here. After downloading this product, you can run the download file, which is Power ISO 5. Power ISO 5 is the version 5 of Power ISO, and it will be installed on your machine. Once again, since you are going to install another product, you are required to agree with the terms and condition. So you will click here, agree. Scroll this button, read out the instructions. These are the standard instructions. And then the next button. Then you can provide the location where you want to install. By default, install on the C drive. So you can click this install button. So you find this window, and this window will show you the speed with which this particular facility is being installed on your computer or on your machine. Next, in this particular scheme, there are two markings. One is on the left side. You have different options. So I will request you to select .iso option, click .iso option, check this option, and then set the virtual drive manager equal to 1. You can have multiple virtual drives, but for this purpose you will only be needing one virtual drive. Okay, as I said, it will emulate a virtual CD drive for this particular tool. Okay, so set it to 1 and you can close it here. Now you can just find out this particular file that is already there. You have already downloaded, and it is Visual Studio 2010 Ultimate DVD English. It's not a DVD, but it is depicting as if it is a DVD. You can double click to this file. Once you double click to this file, you will find this particular icon. On the left side there is an icon of a DVD. Okay. When you see this icon, you click this window on the right side will open, and this DVD icon is under this box. I cannot show you here because I have taken the snapshot of this particular sequence. When you click that virtual DVD icon, it will open up this dialog box. Here you will use this particular option, mount image to drive F. Now, depending upon the virtual drives or the physical drives or the logical drives you have on your computer, it could be D, it could be E, it could be F, G, H, depending upon the available symbol on your computer. So once you mount this by clicking this particular choice or option, now this virtual drive should be available on your system. Okay. Now you can open up this My Computer. You can see the hard disk, C drive, D drive, E drive, F drive, H and L. And here there is a CD drive F that is depicting as a virtual drive. In order to install Video Studio, it will emulate as if you have placed your CD in the CD drive. As I said earlier, that if you are unable to download all these Video Studio files, then you can request us through our course portal. We will send you the DVD. In that particular case, you will not be required to create this virtual drive. In that particular case, you will be placing that particular CD or DVD that will send it to you, and then you open up the CD or the DVD, find out the files available in that, and then you are required to locate the setup file. You will locate the setup file and double click to that particular setup file. Once you double click to that setup file, your process of installation of Visual Studio will start. But if you are not using CD or DVD, then this virtual drive that we have created will be very useful and will automate all the installation process that you require to install Visual Studio. Now double click, it will take you to the next window, and it will take you to this particular directory. You can find out a setup here. Select the setup, double click that setup. Now installation process has begun. Microsoft Visual Studio installation process has launched. It will take some time. It will automatically install, and it will have a few conversations with you. You are required to select certain options. If you need the information about the setup, then you can just click this one and you can press the next button. Or if you just want to keep it automatic, use the default values and press the next button here. Here in this particular setup screen, it will ask you that have you read all the terms and conditions? So you have got two options here. I have read and accept the license terms and condition. I do not accept the license terms and condition. In order to download this Visual Studio, you are required to accept the terms and conditions. So you will select option number 1 and press the next key. When you press the next key, you will find out the location, default location, where it is going to install the Visual Studio, and then the available drives. It is just showing a C drive here, but if you have more partitions on your hard disk, it will show the rest of the partitions also. This particular Visual Studio will require around 2 GB disk space. So kindly make sure that you have more than 2 GB disk space available on a particular partition where you are going to install Visual Studio. Then you have got two options again, full or customize. Since I expect that you are going to install the first software, first commercial software, first professional software on your computer, so you might not be knowing the details which are required to install a customized version. So I recommend you to please do not choose customize option, only choose full option, because while choosing the customize option, it might ask you number of questions which you may not be able to answer, or number of choices which you may not be able to select the best or the required choices that you or your computer might require. Okay? So let's assume you have selected full, you have selected the desired partition here. Here it is showing 5.69 GB and available space is more than that. So it has selected default location. So you press the install button. Once you press the install button, then the Visual Studio setup is going to install the Visual Studio on your computer. Now, these are all the components which are required. It has got some additional components that you might not require, but since we have selected full, so let the system install each and everything for you. When the system will reach somewhere in the middle, Microsoft .NET Framework, the system might, depending upon the sequence, might request you to reboot the computer, reboot the machine. Don't worry. Simply allow in the dialog box to reboot the computer. It will reboot the machine and continue the installation process from the point where it has requested you to reboot the machine. Okay? So just relax. It will take quite some time. So enjoy a cup of tea and let the system work. So as I said a few minutes back, that after the installation of .NET Framework 4, a dialog box will pop up and will ask you to restart your PC. Okay, click on restart button on the dialog box. The PC will restart. If you receive some compatibility issues with SQL, just ignore and skip them. Don't worry. It will not harm and it will not corrupt your Visual Studio environment. There are few warning messages. You may or may not encounter these compatibility issue warning messages. Depending upon your machine, depending upon the environment, depending upon the tool, platform, and your choice, you may or may not receive these compatibility issue problems. So just relax. This installation will take from here onward around 40 to 50 minutes, depending upon the capability and speed and the RAM of your computer. Finally, I hope that you will find this message, success message here. Once you receive this success message, congratulations that you have successfully installed. So you can use this finish button here. So this Visual Studio 2010 Ultimate software has been installed on your machine. Now, depending upon your selection, you will find either on your desktop the icon for the Visual Studio, or you may find it in the startup program list. You can select this Visual Studio 2010 Ultimate icon, double click, and Visual Studio Ultimate will be there for you. In order to carry out your C programming, you are required to select the environment. You have all these facilities available: general development settings, project management settings, Visual Basic, Visual C Sharp. This hash symbol shows Visual C Sharp. So you have got lot of platforms, but for this particular course, I will request you, please choose Visual C Development Setting. Highlight this, click, and then you can start Visual Studio. This is the screen that you will receive first time for the logging in to the Visual Studio for writing your first program on C. So here you can use, I will introduce you later on by demonstrating it, but since I have prepared few snapshots for you, so I would like to go through these snapshots so that at this stage you should continue the learning process till writing your first program. Don't worry, we will be using it number of times during this course, and I'll be opening this particular Visual Studio for you and writing the programs in front of you and running those programs. So we'll create a new project. Click here, or you can select it from the file, new, select a project. Okay, go to file, go to new project, click here. You will find this particular window. Here you have got Visual C++, ALT, CLR, General, and some information for you. I will explain each and everything in the next coming demonstration sessions, but today just recommend you to select General. Okay, after selecting this General, you will select an empty project. Click empty project. It will ask you the name of the project. So I have written here first project. It is showing the location, and the first project is the name that you have assigned. So after typing these, then the name first project, you can use this click, or this is also create directory for solution. There is another option that you can create an empty project that I will also demonstrate you in the next demo session. But it will automatically by default create an empty project a location where you can write your program, where you can write your multiple programs in one go. Press OK button here. The next, how to add a source file to a project. Now this is your project, first project, you remember? We have given the name to our project as a first project. In the first project, we have got here different options available. Resource file, source files, header files. We'll talk about all these files later on. But at this stage, you will click source file. Source file that I have taught you few minutes, not in this particular lecture, but in the previous lecture. So you will select the source file, then you will select add and new item. Click that. You will find this particular window, Visual C++. These are the details that you can keep. You can select C++ file. By default, the extension of the file is .cpp, that is C++ file. And you can see that this is a Visual C++ file. You can name it, since in most of the books, rather in almost every book, the name of the first program is Hello World, a message that you display for the rest of the world by typing the message in your C program. So the people usually give the name as a Hello World. So I recommend you that you can use, and I recommend you not to use the space between the name of the file. So you can write down continuously Hello World and give it a name and click add. Now this is the area where now you can write down your program here. Okay, so I will demonstrate you very quickly how can you write down a program here. But since you know that I'm not in that particular environment, rather I'm using the snapshots, the sequence that I have recorded for you to demonstrate a quick tour that will take you to a point where you should be able to write down your first program. Okay, so you will click source file. This is the name of the file you have given, helloworld.cpp, and this is the area. Here you can start typing your program. This is the test program I have written for you. This program contains certain information, certain statements. Please don't be afraid. डरे नहीं, घबराए नहीं. If you find something strange on this particular screen, especially include IOStream, include console.io.h, using namespace, std. These are certain preprocessor directives, certain instructions for the compiler. We will learn when we go through in different lectures. So, important point is that this is the name of the function. Every C program must have at least one function called main. So we write void main and these two brackets. Don't worry, don't concentrate on the syntax. These are just the statements which I'm not teaching you. The purpose of this particular demonstration is to show you how you can execute your first program in Visual Studio, in Visual C++. This brace, curly bracket, shows the start of your main function, and this shows the end of the main function. This is a statement, cout, that display whatever you place it into the quotes, hello world, it will display it on the output window. Remember, we said that there is a display screen monitor where you want to display the messages or the result of your program. This particular program just contains a string which says hello world, then end line, just to put a blank line at the end of this string, then a function getChe, very useful function, although its purpose is just a dummy here, just to keep this window open for you. I will explain you when we will go through the syntax and minute details of the language. So your first program will look like this. You can copy this particular instructions and paste it into the window. Okay, you remember? So you can use Control-C, go back again, copy this code, highlight this code, Control-C will copy it into the buffer, and then here you can just paste this code. The code will be placed here by selecting this Control-V or by using this window. So whatever we have written is pasted into this particular area where you are supposed to write your program, where you are supposed to write down the source code of your program. These are the instructions. Now, you must remember the steps required. We have defined a problem. Here we have not defined a problem, rather we have just demonstrated a problem. So we have reached to step number 3. Step number 1, define a problem. Step number 2, design a solution. Step number 3, code the program. So we have reached up to step number 3 here. What was step number 4? Compile. Step number 5, link. Step number 6, test and debug or run. As I explained you earlier, that there is an option which is called build option. The build option perform 3 steps together: compile, link, and then even you can run just after using the build option. So I would like to use the build option here. For that purpose, you can go to the main menu, select this build, and then build solution, or you can use F7 key from your keyboard. If you press F7 key, it will build the program. What does it mean? It will convert the source code into the object code, then will convert the object code into the executable code. So all these steps will be performed simultaneously by selecting this build selection. Okay. Once you select this build a program, then on the output window you will find all these details and messages with build succeeded and the time required, build 1 succeeded, 0 failed, 0 up to date, 0 skipped. So if you have not made any mistake in copying the source code into the source area where you are supposed to write down or paste your program, then you should not receive any error message. If the code contains errors, they will be shown onto the window down to the window of the source code. So you need to rectify and remove all the errors Once you remove all the errors, then you should be able to find this message. Now, this is the area that I have explained to you. This is the area where you write down your code. Our code has been hidden. इसके नीचे छुप गया हमारा code, but the code is there, and this is the result. These are all the result. In future, we will also decode what are different messages provided here. So you can run your code by choosing different options. You can directly run in debugger, or first time I will recommend you can start without debugging. So you can use the keyboard with Control F5, or directly you can run the code by choosing this drop down menu and clicking this option. Okay, congratulations. You have been able to write down your first program, and hello world message has been displayed onto the output window. Dear students, I have gone through all the details and explained you how can you set up your environment at home or in a lab where you can practice your programming exercises. It is mandatory. It is mandatory for all the students, for each and every student, to have an access to a computer where this environment is available, because in future you will be required to take assignments, practice assignments, mandatory assignments. Then you are required to take the quizzes also. So without practice, without hands-on exercises, you will not be able to pass this particular course. Okay? If you have any difficulty, any problem, you can repeat this lecture, play back from where you like, as many times as you like, and I'm sure by repeating it again and again and going through the sequence that I've provided to you, you should be able to set up Visual C environment at home. I've gone through the same sequence that I have demonstrated you, and I've been able to set up a Visual C environment under Visual Studio, and that I would like to keep till the end of this particular course. With this, Khuda Hafiz. See you with the next lecture.